Interception. We don't know so. What a remarkable drive, man. That's an All-American drive right here.
It's not exactly unwarranted. Like, when you have a guy as that electric.
The legend himself, the GOAT, Dre Crowell.
Where my warm bottle movement at?
That kills your argument right there.
Anything can happen. This game is not over.
What's good, Relocation Football League fans, or as I should say right now, Lito. Appreciate you guys coming through here for the podcast, the weekly podcast. We're going to be having a couple things to cover here, as you can see. First thing, we're going to be touching base and recapping the conference championship games, our thoughts on the Relo Bowl, our early predictions on that, the College Series Bowl, reviewing the teams that were selected, who we think is going to win, thoughts on that as well as reveal the Pro Bowl rosters and thoughts and everything on that as well, and predictions. And another thing I added on here that I did not put in here, we are going to have a fun facts with Pat moment to close us out. And also, I'm going to be having us talk about our thoughts on the Madden 22, who we think going to be on the cover, and other things like that, what we expect from the game, things like that, etc. So let's go ahead and get into the recaps. Only got 2 games to recap here, and it was the conference championship. We started out on Saturday with the NRC Conference Championship, the Portland Snowhawks versus the Columbus Explorers. We already know, a great rivalry in the postseason. These guys, third time meeting in the postseason. First time, though, competing for a shot to go to the Relo Bowl. And it was the first time the Snowhawks were able to get to this position, and they were able to get it done in a really tough defensive battle over the Explorers here, 19-13.
Man, this was very. It was a great game. If you're watching the game, it was the score might not say it was a very high action game, but it was a very good game to watch. Both teams, both of us were really going at it defensively, and I've already spoke about this a little bit on after interview, man. I feel like we dropped the ball quite a bit in the fourth quarter, and left the little things out on the field that we shouldn't have, but that happens, and you just gotta deal with it, I guess. And the Snowhawks did not make those same mistakes, and they get the win on the road to go to the first Relo Bowl in the franchise history. So congrats to them.
One thing just to say here, Bill. Is there a way to possibly turn your mic, because it's kind of like peaking?
I can try.
Yeah, just a little. It doesn't have to be too much.
What do you mean? You never said up or down. You just said...
Oh, down. Yeah, down a little bit.
Did you adjust something? Because I haven't touched
this
mic since we started doing podcasts.
I noticed it last week, but I just figured it was like just, I don't know, something just going on with that stream or something, but I'm noticing it now as well. So I just wanted to let you know about that. But yeah, Rob, you could go ahead and talk about this game.
All right, making sure I ain't peeking now. Peek.
You sound all right. You should be good.
Yeah, man. Rest in peace, my man Bill, man. It's a good bill, though, Bill. It's a good bill, man. And Bill's been talking to me about his struggles with Rowell, man, and I just kind of shrug it off and everything, man. Kind of tough love and everything, because we don't like to make excuses. Man, I'm gonna have to go ahead and add that old IED to my man World, man. Latavian worried. I'm worried about my guy, man. I don't know, man. Bill, 2 years in a row, right? 2 years in a row, we've seen the biggest moments ever, man. And it's just it came down to that quarterback play, man. And I think that the Explorers are definitely got to work on something this offseason, man, because this team is I still think this is a perennial team, a powerhouse, great team. They just got to get some consistent quarterback play, man. If it's not the quarterbacks, the running backs getting injured. They finally addressed the running back situation. You see Big Boy going off, Big Boy coming alive here in this season, 10 rushes, 100 yards, and Worrell goes out there, man. He's laying squirrel drops, man. You know what I mean? So I feel him, man. And CJ Robinson, man, that's another guy. Like, when we talk about CJ Robinson, man, like this guy is the equivalent of the guidance, the Cam Jones is the Matt Nianis, this guy is like up there in potential. And you just hate to see a guy like this. And not to say that the Snowhawks defense is not all that. And I know I'm going to get some people in the chat. Oh, don't sleep on the Snowhawk, don't sleep on Buchanan and all that, blah, blah. Yeah, I know. But I'm just saying, man, a guy like CJ Robinson, man, he's supposed to just be the leader of this team, taking over on offense, man. And see him not have a great game against these Snowhawks, man. And I'm just going to be honest, man. I still kind of think the Snowhawks defense was the underdog in this game, but they got it done, right? They held the Explorers to 13 total points. It's just some excellent game plan and strategy going on by the Snowhawks and O'Brien, and they get it done. But it's just it's kind of I would say just a shock, man, to see this. But wait a second, though, Smitty, because I've been telling y'all about the Snowhawks, right? I've been telling y'all, like, look, man, if this team get into the playoffs, man, it might be a problem, right?
You've been saying that since the suspension, since you knew they had the whole year.
Yeah, that's it. Now, we got to say suspendissimo. We can't say suspension. We got But
Who coined that again?
Yeah, my boy, suspendissimo.
Levant. Yeah,
Levant, man. Shout out to Mercer, man. Bill, it was a great. It was. I don't want to say it was a great game. Oh, I'm gonna say it's a great game because I want to, but when I'm talking in Bill language, I can't say it's a great game. You know what I'm saying? They were terrible. This is a terrible game. You know what I mean? But yeah. You get what I'm saying, though, Bill, man. So I'm gonna give it to you, Smitty, man. I done rambled.
All good. We only got two games to cover anyway, so
yeah.
We only 7 minutes in. That's nothing. But just to break down this game, the Explorers. Going into the half, I think things were tied up at 10 apiece, and the issue was the second half for the Explorers. The run game, pretty much everything was going well for them. The defense was there for both sides. Both sides were working effectively in the first half. The second half, the Explorers getting away from the run game is what cost them here in this one. Latavian Worrell throwing the football. He didn't throw a lot, only 30 times, which he only completed 11 of 30 of those passes. But like Rob said, the defense was the underrated area also of the Snowhawks in this game. They did a great job with a couple of their pass deflections and key moments and getting pressure at times. They may not have gotten the sacks like that. I think they only got the one sack at the end of the game when he was about to throw the Hail Mary on Latavian Worrell. But they were pressuring Latavian Worrell throughout this game, and the coverage was great. I mean, there was literally step for step, stride for stride with the wide receivers. There were a few times, we talked about it when we had our interview here, Bill, that we had the underneath guy. But to be honest, that was still just a few times in which I've seen. And, that's when you just got it, in my opinion. I think the Snowhawks just came out there, like Rob said, really balled out and were the big determining factor of this game, the underdogs. Because this is a defense, even coming in the postseason that I was talking about, that's been very inconsistent. The offense has as well. This team during the regular season has been inconsistent, But getting into postseason play, these guys have looked nothing but consistent. And we already know, like, when the Snowhawks are consistent, this is one of the best teams in the league. And it's the best team in the NRC right now representing due to their type of performance in the postseason. And, of course, in this big moment against a great team like the Explorers, the Explorers defense still did their job, still holding the Snowhawks to 19 points. Bill always preaches about his defense year in and year out, just shutting it down and keeping their teams in games. And they definitely have done that more so this season. And for the Snowhawks, just to keep grinding and for their defense to step up to this occasion, it's tough to still hold a team to 13 points with a running game. This is one of the backs with Tommy Bigby having just 10 carries for 100 yards, and then one of those runs went for 53 yards, and that was the one touchdown that he had. So, like, for a guy to have that much success and for it to go south there towards the end, I know that was extremely tough, of course, for Coach Nicholson and the Explorers, but I think that was mainly the two determining factors of this game, just the defense playing better than expected of the Snowhawks, and the Explorers just turning away from the run game when they needed to keep with it. I think they tried to balance things out because they were extremely run heavy in the first half. C.J. Robinson didn't have a single reception in that first half at all. Started out the second half with one. And then he had another catch later on, and that was it for him. You could see the 2 for 35. But the defense at times, like I said, just really did a good job in coverage. And that was really the big factor. Got to give a shout out to Coach O'Brien for, just to make it in the last game of the season. Both of these teams were both in the same boat. The Columbus Explorers also had an 11-5 record, had to win their last game of the season, things of that nature. And it was just great to see these two teams compete. And a defensive game, kind of could expect it to be this way or high scoring, nevertheless, but really we expected it more so to be defensive because of the Explorers defense. And that's exactly what we got, and the Snowhawks did a great job coming out on top to make their first Relo Bowl appearance. Rob, are you trying to say something?
Yeah, I was, I just a little bit of a side combo, man. I'm not gonna go too long on this, but that running game, man, was destroying the Snowhawks.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, and it kind of and I know we're getting there, man. And the buzz is coming, and we're going to talk about M22, man. But I really hope that we get some adjustments with the playbook stuff, with maybe the customs, because like a lot of times we see exploits in certain teams, and if coaches are able to like improve upon those exploits, man, it might be different ball games in certain situations, and I just thought that like looking at, man, because Bigby was tearing that defensive line up, man, so it was just kind of it was just really amazing just to see that, man. And I just can't imagine again what could be with that though, but no excuses though. It is what it is, so
yeah. So great job by the Snowhawks advancing on. Moving on to recap the ARC Conference Championship. We were saying this was a Relo Bowl within itself. Dre Crowell versus Marquise Washington. Can Dre be able to beat yet again another youthful, promising quarterback looking to take his place after he's gone after this season? And, got it done against Marquise Washington in the wild card round. Able to beat Glen Hay in the Tough Voyagers in the divisional round. And then here they are, the number one team in the league. Best record, 14-2, Columbus Aviators. And they get it done again. And, in decent fashion here, 21-7.
All right, so I'm want to first check a little bit here if this is a better level with the mic before I start talking a little bit. Is this?
Yeah, I don't hear the buzzing either.
That sounds good. Because
Okay.
it was buzzing and stuff earlier, but it's good now.
Okay, all right. So, for this game, it's sort of what I was saying at the beginning of the playoffs, man. The teams that are supposed to, that are just destined to be great, the teams that are just these star-studded teams that maybe didn't have the greatest of seasons are going to start showing through, and we've seen that almost every single week. And I'm not saying that the Aviators are a bad team, because they're obviously not, but if we're going to sit here and say and compare the two, that the Celtic Tigers are a more talented overall team. That's just not even an insult. It's just a fact. And it showed here. Dre Crowell did his thing, and he knows the ins and outs of this game, and he knows a lot more than Marquise Washington does at this point in his career, and it definitely showed. Just a great showing by a great team. And I probably got so many voice clips out there. If somebody wants to go and try to snatch them up, of me saying this team isn't going to do nothing all off season or all season long. And here we are, and they're going to the big game. And man, I'm sitting here biting my words now, because I was really wrong. And I will admit it. I was wrong. Drake Crowell might ride out on his white saving horse here, or whatever you want to call it, into the sunset for his retirement. But man, this team looks really, really unstoppable. And every single week, they just keep making teams that we expect to beat them, or at least, take it to the end with them, look a lot worse than we thought they would. And it's a real testament to the level of talent on this team and veteran leadership.
Yeah, I thought that this game would be a lot further than it really was. 21-7 is still a very close game, in my opinion. I had to give the Aviators a hats off for even keeping the game manageable. But they were a powerhouse this season, and so they didn't disappoint, if that makes any sense, right? Because this could have easily have been 48, whatever. You know what I mean? But it wasn't that, right? It was a ground and pound day, a lot of methodical drives for the Celtic Tigers and the Aviators. They just didn't have they didn't have the defense, right? I think they had the offense. I think the offense was decent, but I think that they didn't have the defense to stop the Celtic Tigers, and it kept putting obviously putting the offense back on the field. And then you'd have to take into account the fact that you do have a rookie, and by no standards, he's close to Superman, but he's not Superman, right? And so I get it why this game turned out the way it turned out. Both of these teams were doubted in their own right in the early season, right? The Aviators obviously were doubted, by the masses, and the Celtic Tigers. Everybody just said, "Oh, they'll be great in the season," and then they get to the playoffs and they're going to lose, right? And they didn't do that this year, man. They didn't do it, and I have to credit that to the performance of the big three here. And so, with that said, the Aviators just had their hands full in this game, man. I mean, it's just a rabid tiger came up in Columbus. Hey, you know what I mean? The Aviators, they had their goggles on and everything, and their coats, their flight jackets on. And man, just got clawed to death, man, by the Celtic Tigers, man. Just seeing the Celtic Tigers just looking perfect up and down the field almost, man. That was just really a sight to see. And I think I said it during the stream, like, man, this is looking like the team I saw when I first came to the league. When the people were showing me the highlights of season 2 or whatever, you know what I mean? I'm like, whoa, this team can do no wrong. Like guys strapped on defense, I mean, look at the numbers on offense. I mean, Worsley, jeez, man, and how many times do we see like 3 straight runs by Worsley in this game for first downs, right?
Yeah, more so at the goal line.
Yeah, and so it was just really it was really crazy, but still hats off to Coach Beck. Definitely defied the odds. Nobody thought he'd be 15-3. Nobody thought that, and so he had a really great season. And the Aviators, I'm really interested, man. Interested to see what this team is going to be about, and can they continue to run the ARC North, man? Because they definitely ran it this season.
Yeah, in terms of this game, I think like you guys were saying, it was a good battle that the Aviators were at least able to put up. Really didn't look that way when you look at the points, and when you look at this, it doesn't look like that bad of a loss. But at one point, the Celtic Tigers were up 21-0. The issues I don't think was really too much at fault on the Aviators, though. When you look at the defense, I was saying it during the game. How do you stop these three when they're getting going early and as great as they are? They had the pass game going early, strikes down the field to Matt Niani, had one big catch on the sidelines with Trey Worsley, of course, grounding and pound, 34 carries, just took a running approach here to a team running down this defense. One thing about the Columbus Aviators defense, this was an area that, we kind of knew should have been a bit of a weakness of this team, but they really stepped up in a lot of areas and played way higher than expectations this year. But never faced up against an offense. They faced up against a few, but not many offenses as powerful as the Celtic Tigers, and it showed in the game. They tried to do the best they can. They, of course, exploited those linebackers, Drake Crowell, just making good throws. They didn't even throw a passing touchdown, but going 75%, 21-28, just showing off his accuracy, showing off, what makes Dre. And Worsley just grounding and pounding them down, wearing the defense out. The defense still did a decent job, though, of holding this high-powered offense that scored 77 points in 2 games just before this game to just 21 points. That's still a good feat in itself. The defense did a good job, I'd have to say, there. So I really have nothing too much to say about the defense. It just went up against a very stacked offense. With the offense of the Aviators, you got to credit the Celtic Tigers defense. This is one area about the Celtic Tigers this year, like I've been saying during the postseason, that has stepped up like never before. Because in the postseason, the defense was always a question mark, on if they were going to be consistent or not during the postseason to be able to help out Dre to get him his opportunities. And, just was not the case. in prior years, but this year the defense has been all out consistent. The Cougars 21 points in that game, 18 points for the Houston Voyagers, and in holding the number one team, which pretty much thrived off his offense here, to just 7 points. That's just remarkable. There was a point in this game where the Columbus Aviators kind of had themselves a chance to get back in this. Marquise Washington, by no stretch of the imagination, despite the interception he threw, had himself a solid game. There was a lot of moments. What really killed the Aviators in this was penalties. I can remember one, as the Celtic Tigers were driving down the field anyway, but still that pass interference call in the end zone where they marked him down at the 1. They just ran it in there. He had quite a bit of holding penalties, especially towards the end of the game when he could have made it 14-21, where Marquise Washington threw that touchdown. And, that got called back. So the penalties really killed the Aviators here in this game. There was a couple of drives where, guys just didn't step up and make plays. Saw a few drops as well from the Aviators wide receivers. And that's one thing I talked about in this matchup that I thought was going to be a weakness for this team, was that the wide receivers were going to show, and that's something that, I've talked about at some point this season for the Aviators. It was going to happen. They got great wide receivers when you look at them overall wise, but, you're still going up against a pretty solid defense. The Celtic Tigers struggled in pass defense a bit this year, but they like to go man. They've been running quite a bit of man, and against these wide receivers, this is kind of honestly the best matchup they've had on defense to cover. And so they did a great job covering these wide receivers, made it difficult for them to make catches, made it difficult for Marquise Washington to locate and move the chains down the field. And those are the two areas that really cost the Columbus Aviators in this, just the defense and the wide receivers just not really being able to, get the offense moving. And then you look at the run game, they kind of got away from the run game, but at the same time, the run game was also not always there for them either. So the defense just stepped up in a big way. Just a huge win for the Celtic Tigers. Haven't been to this stage in 5 years, and now they're going to go on to the Relo Bowl for the last year of Drake Crowell as a starter. We already know Justin Jones is going into the lineup, and with that being said, now we got the Relo Bowl matchup. Celtic Tigers versus Portland Snowhawks. So with that, who do you guys, with the early prediction, who do you feel is going to walk out on top of this game? Of course, I'm going to ask you guys next week, too, see if anything changes up. But if you had to go right now on how you're feeling, who do you got winning this Relo Bowl? What is your thoughts on this Relo Bowl as well?
Man, that's
Go
tough.
ahead. Oh, it's very simple, Bill. We can now argue. You ready?
Sure.
Offense wins games, defense wins championships.
I like that argument right there.
That's it, and that's all. Whatever defense is gonna come out here is gonna win this game. And right now, I think it's favored in CT.
It's really hard for me to go against CT just because they've been knocking down everybody that we thought they would get eliminated from. But there's just something about the level of talent in Portland on both sides of the ball that's just really, really hard to look past. And they might not have Drake Crowell, but Joseph Gidley is just as good as Drake Crowell. In any kind of attribute you can put him up against, he is just as good. And so this is a really, really tough call to make. Man, I think I'm gonna go Portland. I think Portland's gonna take it.
Well, I've been preaching and talking about the Celtic Tigers getting to this stage for a couple years now, and the defense is here. So I think guys already obviously know my thoughts on who's going to win this year. But I would not be surprised if the Snowhawks get this done.
Let me ask you guys, man. Let me ask you guys, right?
Mm-hmm.
So who do you like better, right? Let's pull it up real quick. Do you like Gidley versus the DBs of the Celtic Tigers, or do you like Dre versus the DBs of the Snowhawks?
That's still even though. I think that's still equal.
I would give that to CT in that respect.
All right. Do you like Trey Worsley versus the defensive line of the Snowhawks, or do you like DJ Scott versus the defensive line of the Celtic Tigers?
The running game completely goes to CT in that regard. I mean,
Yeah.
after what the Explorers did, you know,
That's exactly what my game plan was supposed to be for 4 quarters, not just 3 quarters. Because,
Yeah.
well, one thing is the Snowhawks, they have a good stout defense, but their front four has not been very good for them in the run game. I think they're like 30th in the league or in the conference when it comes to stopping the run. So if we're gonna battle those two, then you have to go CT.
Last thing I'm gonna say here. What mismatch do the Snowhawks have? Do the Snowhawks have any kind of mismatch, offense versus the defense of the Celtic Tigers? Because I think it's apparent that that CT has a bit of a mismatch.
Yeah, CT definitely has a mismatch. There's no cornerback, I don't think, on the Snowhawks that can cover Matt Niani one-on-one. And then a very underweighted wide receiver for the CT is DJ Burrow. You know, and not to mention coming back is Damon Mackey officially. I've been saying this throughout the postseason that he's going to come back, but now he actually is officially. He got the prompt, so he's definitely back. Now you got to worry about the tight end that was killing it during the season. So they're going to have a lot of areas of mismatch that they can work with. The only mismatch that I can see of the Portland Snowhawks possibly having on the Celtic Tigers is Karis Curry. And
I think it's just their depth in general at receiver. They have
gotta watch
you can
out
go
for
4 or
Smelter
5 deep.
too. But at the same time, the linebacking core, the cornerbacks of the Celtics, even though they struggled at times, these are still solid players that I think can stay stride for stride with them. So, yeah, I got CT.
How many sacks has Gidley taken? Do we have any kind of a way of figuring that out? How many sacks he's taken in the playoffs?
Oh, in the playoffs, yeah, I could still look at his
Because I'm telling you, man, the pressure that these Celtic Tigers have gotten to the quarterback this postseason has just been unreal.
Yeah.
You know, it's been nuts.
Let's see, okay. I guess you guys.
Yeah, and if it comes down to that, then it very well could go CT's way in a hurry because, as good as Gidley is, he just doesn't want to move. You know what I mean? So like, if that line's not holding up, he's just gonna sit back there and he's gonna take the sacks.
Yeah, so he was sacked only a total of 2 times in the postseason, one against the Elks and one against the Explorers. Did not get sacked at all against the Desperados.
So he's actually getting pretty good, and that's actually pretty good against the Desperados. So he's getting pretty good protection. It looks like that's gonna be interesting, man. You know, to when you look at that, whether or not he's gonna be able to sit there in the pocket and just throw all over CT. That's gonna be very interesting.
Gidley, you know, but for watching him, like I do think that he, even with pressure there, like we say, he's very similar to Dre.
Yeah, Dre 2.0 is what I call him. Yeah.
So he might still be able to do the exact same thing. I don't think he's going to take a lot of sacks, but where that could play a factor in the Celtic Tigers, I think, really have this in the bag if they can generate the same pressure they've been doing all season and cover the wide receivers so that he doesn't have any options. If they can do that, then it's good. But if they leave anything open with the pressure there, Joseph Gidley's going to be just like Dre and just be able to throw those passes, you know, on there, you know, and then at that point, that's when you got yourself a problem on the defensive side of the ball because just like Dre, if he gets lit up, the offense is going to be tough to stop, especially if the run game is there. But looking at the run game, when you talk about the run game, you know, TJ Scott has been great during the postseason, you know. But, you know, another area that has been great for the Celtic Tigers have been their run defense as well. So, like, this defense has stepped up on a whole nother level. Their offense is playing consistently through the roof and taking advantage of all their opportunities. So, like, the only way that the Snowhawks, in my opinion, come out on top with this is if they play, for one, mistake-free, cannot afford to have any penalties, or that's definitely going to be game. And they got to be able to get the ball out of Joseph Gidley's hands if that pressure arrives. And his wide receivers are going to have to be probably the biggest area for the Snowhawks to really step up. Just like I said, this kind of has to, in a sense, has to be a shootout. Joseph Gidley versus Drake Crowell, who can score the most points, because there's not a lot that the Snowhawks defense, I feel, can do to stop the Celtic Tigers. If they can find some way to do that and probably slow down the run or something, then that's great. But if they can't, you just gotta they're just gonna have to win it in a shootout.
Yep.
You got anything to say, Bill?
No, I think I mean everything you guys are saying, like I think we're sort of somewhat agreeing on most aspects when it comes to like the who's got what, as an advantage and disadvantage. I just think this is a really good matchup for the Relo Bowl. I can't sit here and just say like for certain that one team has, like, there's without a shadow of a doubt has all the advantages. So it should be a good matchup.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely a great season in the RFL in general. The postseason, I mean, just even looking at this graphic on like the scores and everything, the games that we had, it was just an outstanding season and an even better postseason in my opinion. Couldn't have had chosen the best teams to close it out to see who's going to win a Relo Bowl, and the storylines was just beyond perfect. So yeah, that's all I can really say to that. But yeah, that's our predictions early on, our thoughts going into the Relo Bowl. Of course, we'll be finding out in about a week and a half how who's going to be our season 6 champions. Definitely going to make for a great game. But let's go ahead and talk about the games we got coming up this week. So we got the College Series Bowl, as we talked about. We had the draft on Monday, and already understood and saw what the community was feeling like, and guys were expecting an all-star draft picking like last year's College Series Bowl, but Coach Forbes and Coach Carter are going a different way with their selections, trying to give the players who really didn't get that much exposure an opportunity to put on a show. We had a few star names getting put out there, but let's go ahead and first get a look at these rosters, and then just our thoughts on what we think of the roster, and then after we go over each roster individually, we'll also put our thoughts on who we feel could come out on top of this game, with the coaching and with the coaches and the pieces that they've got. So going ahead and looking at the East first. So here is the lineup of the East side, which is represented by Coach Carter. So starting, you got Jaden Romanelli from Washington. Cody Carter will be the running back. You had Earl Gill at fullback. Wide receivers starting out first lineup: Tyler Simpson, Deshaun Jones, Ty Gooden. And you see the linemen here. Notable names as submitted guys. Got Pat McNeil, and I believe that's the only submitted guy here. Yeah, that's the only submitted guy at center. You can see the other names there. And Chandler Godspeed is the starting tight end. Now, what these coaches are able to do is they can decide to switch up where they want their guys to be at. Now, they have to play with the group that they're with. So, for instance, Tyler Simpson, Deshaun Jones, and Ty Gooden's got to be the top 3 receivers, but he can decide to put Tyler Simpson in the slot where the wide receiver 2 is, Jones outside, obviously, because he's the taller guy, or whichever way he wants to handle it. But they can switch up what they have in at those times, and vice versa when the second half group comes in. But looking at this roster, that's who they got right now. Any thoughts on the picks, on just in general, just to put out there, who you kind of felt possibly could have been taken, other than the players maybe chosen, who you think is great, a great selection that you want to see, from this unit. What's your guys' thoughts on that?
I really, I mean, I guess it's hard to make a talk about that to some degree, because we are looking at a team that has, for the most part, filled with players that didn't really get much burn during the regular college series. So in that respect, I like how the team's somewhat laid out. I know there was some top tier guys that were taken too, so I'm a little concerned. I'm a little worried for some of these guys that maybe weren't at the top programs. What's going to happen once they go up against some of the guys who were considered, top flight? But I think it's just going to be a really good showcasing for these guys to get their foot in the door and maybe catch some coaches' attention before the big day next month.
And I guess one other thing I can add to this is, like, just looking at who is here. Is there any specific player that you see like on here that you are interested in possibly, just seeing perform well in the game?
Talking to me, Smitty, or okay.
It's both. So Bill
I'll-
can finish with that, and then you can answer both.
Oh, okay.
Well, I feel like we've already seen quite a bit of Romanelli and Fecchi, and I feel like we've seen a lot of Carter and like Tyler Bloomgren. I've seen some, so I think I'd really like to see a little bit more of, I guess, a little bit more Deshaun Jones, maybe some Tavion Blue, some guys that had some flashes but just didn't really get the exposure. So I want to see some of these these receivers hopefully show out a little bit in this game.
Yeah. Overall, I'm a little, and I'm just gonna be honest. I wanted to see All-Star. I wanted to see all the best of the best out here, but I didn't make it far, so I don't get to choose that. So I'll have several seats. But yeah, I wanted to see the best of the best, all the guys, everybody, McCall out here. I wanted to see all those guys out here, man. Kai, I want to see everybody versus everybody. World War V out here, but we're not gonna get that, right? We're gonna get a scouting bowl, senior bowl. See, we're gonna get a senior bowl, guys. That's what. Yeah. So it's all good, man. It's all good. So and I was trying to do Forbes.
I knew you was trying to do. Yeah. I was like, he's trying to try his voice.
Yeah, but that's all good. If out of anybody that I'm actually on this offense here that I wanted to see more, it's going to be Jaden Romanelli because I was kind of high on Washington last season, and there are some things that I thought that altered Washington last season, and I felt like, man, they just kind of ran into a tight pocket, man, at the end there. And so I kind of want to see Romanelli. I want to see what he can do here with at most average offense. And if he's able to, I haven't seen the defense yet, but if he's able to, ball out here, I think that would be awesome here. The other person I'm actually looking, there's actually two people I really want to see here. I want to see Tyler Bloomgren. That was a USC star, right? Yeah.
I believe Minnesota.
Minnesota. That's right. The colors are almost close. But yeah. So the Minnesota, Tyler Bloomgren. I want to see him more because I felt like I saw some sparks out of Bloomgren in the series, and so that's going to be interesting there for me. Also, I'm not going to lie, Deshaun Jones. With the play of our guy at Miami, man, I felt like Deshaun Jones definitely he fits this kind of a game. If we're talking about players who didn't get their just due, so I thought that was an excellent pick there. And I'm even gonna go out there and reach, and I'm gonna say even this guy here, Declan Ward as well. And on the other side, Tavion Blue. It makes sense. If that's why they pick these guys. So that should be very interesting there. I see you got Joe Duncan here and Cody Carter here, but I already know what Cody Carter is about, and I know what Joe Duncan is about. I've seen those guys. So yeah, that's my take right there. But I'm just looking to see what Jaden Romanelli can do with Bloomgren, Jones, Ward, and Tavion Blue.
So since we're going through each section, what we're going to do is just like how you guys just did right there, just pick the guys that you want to see, like what you want to see out of them as we go through, instead of, because you guys already gave your explanation on, what you guys thought on the selections. So after looking at this offense, let's go ahead and get a look at the East's defense. So they got Stephen Forbes starting at D tackle, Willie Nelly at left. Well, the DNs could be interchangeable too. That's also something in here. But the starting unit guys have to start. So the starting DNs will be Willie Nelly and Javon Cruz. At middle linebacker, we got Kenny Forrester. We could have Kenny Forrester and Juice Adams, depending on if they run a 4-3 and things of that nature. But Kenny Forrester there, Alfred Walker on the outside, along with James Axel. Chris Polk, that's a big name right there for free safety. Samuel Stubbs, another notable name. Don Dang, Kelly Trenton, and Alexander and Jason Alexander. So those are the starting guys. Who do you want to see, out of this unit?
I think out of the starting unit,
Well, it could be anywhere, but yeah, that's
Well, it's this one is a little bit harder for me because I feel like they picked all of the guys who maybe didn't get as much burn on offense, but on the defense they didn't really seem to stick to that exact same formula. So it's
Correct.
I mean I've seen most of these guys, you know.
Just spit it out, Bill. Just spit it out, Bill.
I don't really. I mean, it's not that I don't want to see them. It's just there's not one that like on this board that I'm sitting there like, wow, this guy. I have no clue who this guy is. You know what I mean? I maybe Ryan Thompson. I don't think I saw enough of him. Maybe Rip Montez. I love Juice Adams. But like I said, he was a household name to me. You know. And yeah, I mean, most of these guys are household names to me, so it's hard for me to choose for who I want to see more.
Yeah, I'm just gonna be honest, man. If you're on this list here and you think that you're a terrible player, you're not. Cougars want all of you. Half of this, I want half of this defense, and then Chris Paul on top. But no, I'm serious. I'm dead serious. Like these guys on this defense here, these guys are radar guys. So I don't know what's going on. What was the, I don't know what happened, what transpired. Maybe the chat was getting on them or something. I don't know. I wasn't there, but all these guys, Joseph Settle, man, Baba Duke, come on, man. We talked a lot about him. Javon Cruz, George, Xavier Beckford, all these Willie Nelly, Forbes, Juice, all these guys. Like these are prime time guys, man. And I just want you to know that the Cougar Scouts will be at this game heavy. Thank you very much.
All right, so that's the East's defense, and this is just to show who the kickers and punters are. We didn't have any submitted punters, so what we did was whoever wasn't selected as a starting kicker was going to be the punter. So Cody Hill's the punter. He is a kicker, but he's going to be playing punter for the East, and Amy Schlizzy will be the starting kicker for the East. Oh, yeah, I also thought about this, too. They will be flipping. So they will be – Cody Hill will be kicking field goals, and Amy Schlizzy will be punting in the second half. So they'll both get an opportunity to kick and all that. But
I just love how like we care so much about the special teams. Like, yeah, just play a different position for a half, right?
Yeah, but I mean, in this situation, I just wanted those guys to flip. I was actually about to have Schlizzy kick the whole time, like the kickers kicking. Now I just thought about, hey, both of these guys are kickers. Might as well switch them. So, yeah, at least we're going to do that for them. But let's go ahead and get a look at the West Side. So this is Coach Forbes' team. Starting at quarterback, he went with Owen Jack. He got Cleon Markman starting at running back. At tight end.
Hold on, Smitty. Y'all done took me back to 1980 with this black and white screen going on here, man. Some old VHF. What in the world?
Yeah, so you guys, what I'm planning on doing sometime maybe later or soon is the colors do have something to do with the uni. So that'll be a little hint for you guys, so you guys know what's going on. But red and black will be the colors. Of course, black will be the West Side, red will be the East. But that's why it looks like this. But Owen Jack,
I adjust my monitor real quick, man. What's going on here?
Owen Jack, Cleon Markman at tight end, Brady Barrowman. Wide receivers they got out there: Pablo Frederick, that's a known name. Luis Cardenas, and Stefan Harris out there. And then as for submitted linemen here, we got Connor Hawk, and I believe that's it for the submitteds. There actually was a whole, and I just thought about this at the last minute, which it's kind of messed up. But the guy's not active anyway, so I guess it is what it is. But I should have thought about having you had to select all submitted players first before you selected generics. There is one lineman.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I didn't think about that till afterwards. But the teams are picked right now, so it is what it is. But most guys still were submitted. But in this case, the offensive lineman definitely should have had. I think Jacob Sprinsky be a selection. But so anybody you want to see out of this unit, guys?
Well, this one.
Come on.
Oh yeah,
man.
Frank Champion is here too. He's a backup.
Yeah, this one has me even more confused, to be honest, because I mean, let's not pretend that OJ and Ramos were like under the radar guys.
Right. OJ is giving guys
Markman
40
and
yards.
Didymus, I feel like we talked about those guys every week. And I mean, some of these receivers, like I'm fully aware who Pavel Frederick is, and Joey Letner and Christian Williams.
Right.
So I guess I'm just gonna watch the O-line, man. See if some of these under the radar O-linemen can show through to add some value to the draft at some point. Because I mean, there's some receivers on here, but like and I'm not trying to like dog on any of the coaches that made these choices. I'm just trying to figure out, like, I just feel like there was other players that could have been picked if we truly were just trying to give guys who didn't get a chance to play, you know. Some of these guys I feel like have at least gotten chances. I mean, nothing's going to hurt their stock, but you know, I mean, maybe Darius will double his touchdown total. That'll be nice. But it just, most of these guys I feel like have shown what they're capable of, you know, and I feel like there's plenty of other guys out there that maybe aren't going to get a chance at all and until draft day and to see if they get drafted. So this one's a hard one for me.
Yeah, man. I'm not gonna beat a dead horse, man. Bill, you said it. Yeah. Hey, some of these. Hey, don't worry, man. Ninth rounders. If I got enough picks, man, I'm scooping guys, man. You know, Julian Leitner, man. We talked about him in the. Smitty, you were saying this
Lito
might be
knows who he is.
The best. Oh, shots fired.
Look at that bell going.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. So you were talking about Julian Leitner, man. You were high on him for some time there in the season, and we automatically know what Pavel was doing. Like, come on, man. Like, you know. So, hey, you know, it's still a good team. Cardenas, man. Come on, man. You know, Chris Williams, Auburn. Obviously we already talked about Jack and Ramos, man. Like, both of those guys. Like, Ramos was just what is he, a game out of the tourney or something like that? Did he make? I don't remember if he made the tourney.
I think they went. Not, I can't remember.
Did they go?
They didn't. No, they didn't go. They weren't close to making the tourney. But
no.
I think they just barely made. Off the top of my head, I think they just barely made a bowl game. They either went 6-6 or 7-5, but I think it was 6-6.
Yeah. Well, everybody knows the MO on Ramos, right? Like, he only had two players, you know, and his whole defense was the real Penn State, you know, and he was out here balling, you know what I mean? So I don't think, you know, I don't know, you know. Okay, we'll give him another shot. Owen Jack, though, this guy was killing it. Was he not? He was killing it, man.
He won the
yeah, he was on the awards.
Yeah, he won the award. Drake
Award. I'm hype about my boy Cleon Markman, though. Y'all know I was an Iowa bandwagon bus mix on the bandwagon with Iowa, man. I love those guys. Speaking of, where's my boy Kurt Peterson? KP should have been up here, man.
Rob, you should have been in that call when the bowl games were getting made, man. The disrespect for Iowa that Smitty was trying to lay down, man.
Disrespected, man. Disrespected Iowa.
I felt they should have been, but I didn't think
he tried pushing them so hard out of a bowl game, out of a good matchup.
I didn't think they was going to be able to hang with Penn State, but the fact they did and beat them. It was just like, okay, I see.
Yeah, man. Speedy, I was look, Iowa got on my radar, man. When I started, I was looking at the stats, and I was actually recording some games for those guys. And one week, like one of the earlier weeks, I was like, wow, these guys just almost put up 1,000 yards together. whatever it was, right? Then next week, I recorded another game, and heck, both of them put up another 150 yards on the ground. And then it just kept on going. And by week 6, I was like, whoa. Hey, Smitty, hey, this guy KP and Cleon Markman, this might be the best quarterback halfback duo in the league. And I'm just saying it like a combination. I'm not saying that KP is the best quarterback, you know, and Markman is the best halfback, but as a package, boy, these guys were in sync, man, because like, if you didn't know, Cleon Markman not only was rushing, but he was catching balls down the field for touchdowns, right? So yeah, man. Hey, I like this here. I do want to see Bykov Levitsky. I want to see him. I'm interested in some facts.
Did you say that right the first time?
Yeah, Bykov Levitsky. Yurik Bykov Levitsky. Yeah. But there's a lot of there's some nice guys. And obviously Hodge is up here. Hodge's supposed to be up here. Hodge know he's supposed to be up here anyway. Hodge, he don't care. Hodge don't care. But yeah, Yeah, man, this is actually I think this is a good offense here. I don't think this is a bad offense at all. And if you're up here, you should be hyped that you're up here because this is a decent offense.
Can I add something here just for the just for conversation to see, we talked about and heard that this was going to be like a guys to prove themselves type of game. I'm going to just list off some of these names that I feel should have gotten a look in this game. And I don't know if maybe we even forgot about some of these guys here. So I'm just going to read a few names off for everybody. All right. We got David Quijada.
Right.
Joseph Fontanez.
Yes.
Connor McCain. Gavin Falk.
Yep.
Kurt Peterson. Trip Baker.
Yep.
JTA.
Yes.
Joseph Casares. Carson Kershaw.
What an organ at, Smitty. Play the organ. Tabernacle, baby.
Like so many of these guys that we saw those glimpses of, but just didn't see enough.
Well,
or maybe the team held them down, and we're just not going to get to see him at all, man. It's unfortunate.
Say it proud, Pastor Bill. What in the hypocrisy is going on here?
What blasphemousness is this going on right now?
Can I get an amen? Can I get an amen? Let me get the RFL congregation and get #amen.
Amen.
Oh my!
All right, let's go ahead and get a look at this defense now, for who we feel who we're interested in seeing out of this game. So at D tackle for the West, we got August Speller from Miami, Bryson Powers Jr., LSU, Jose Ortiz, UCLA, Josh Hardy, Miami, Sean Best Jr., Miami, Christian Bonasi, Beazle. Let's get into Beazle. Get in the Beazle. And for the safeties, we got Mr. Blueberry Man, Blueberry Hill from Baylor. You had Connor Baker from Texas A&M. Another Miami. I think this side almost got all the Miami boys just about. You got Lito Loso. He's in the second half team there.
You listening to Mix too much, man. Listening to Mix, man.
Matty Packerman, also from Miami. Prince Potter from Texas A&M. Deshaun Abbas from USC. So those are the starters there. Of course, you got the other names behind there. But who are you interested in this unit to look forward to seeing play?
There's only one dude on this entire defense that actually warrants more look because we didn't see him touch the field at all. That's Christian Bonnet. Bonnier.
Yeah, 3 games,
you want to say it.
Bonnier.
Bonnier.
Three tackles, man. No, three games, 18 tackles, was it? Was that what it was, the stat line?
I'm about to go search it up. I know it's on the website here.
Yeah, we had something in the end of the season, man. That was crazy.
Organized by school here.
But no, in all seriousness, though, I would like to see more from Beazle's guy, Christian Bonnet, because, I mean, we saw that he had a decent showing when, you let him play that one game, Smitty.
Hey, man.
And then you just, strip that from him. like the
Well, this
awesome
is what I would
guy
say. With the games that he was playing, let me see, he actually did a pretty decent job. 34 total tackles with the time he was on the field. 22 were solo. He had 9 tackles for loss. 2 sacks, and 2 pass deflections.
Yeah. He just wasn't in the game because of the roster subs or whatever it was.
Yeah.
The depth chart or whatever it was. So,
but everybody else here is pretty much guys that
Man, I know Speedy can't say nothing, but come on, man. Do y'all really think Sean Best Jr., Josh Hardy, August Speller, do y'all really think these guys? I mean, I don't know, man. I don't know, man. I don't know, guys. Like, I feel like I understand Miami's defense was not what it was supposed to have been. I get it, and I'm not gonna make excuses for him. But at the same time, like individually, when I'm looking at individual players, I don't know if I saw Josh Hardy getting worked a whole lot. Sean Best getting worked a whole lot. I mean, I don't know, man. This is just kind of mind-boggling to me, man. You know what I'm saying? If anybody, and then Blueberry Hill, like, I don't know, man. I don't know.
I gotta be quiet, so
I know you gotta be quiet, man. I know you gotta be quiet. Kiso was out there in Georgia, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Kiso.
Deshaun Bass is out here too.
Georgia.
Yeah. Bryson out there. Bryson was LSU, right? Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
think so. Was Kendrick? Kendrick was WVU, West Virginia.
He was Baylor. You talking about Kendrick Woodson?
Baylor. Yeah, Kendrick Woodson. Yeah.
Baylor.
Yeah. There's some guys here, man, that I like. That's all I'm gonna say about that, man. I don't. Oh, that Lido Loso, he's not getting drafted at all, man. That guy.
Ninth
that guy,
rounder,
Lido
right?
Loso, man.
Ninth rounder.
Ninth rounder, man. Ninth rounder. I might be able to get him on like a 540K worth 7 years. Kind of a deal. We'll put him on special teams. He'll never play cornerback ever in the league, man. I'm telling you. Guy's terrible, man.
All right, and then of course the last thing is just the special teams. For the kickers, will be Michael Floater the GOAT, kicking first half, punting the second, and then Justin Lawrence from Florida State. He'll be kicking in to finish out the game. So that is the rosters of the All-Star game. Let's go ahead and now that we've looked at those rosters, who do you guys predict is going to coach and win this game with the players and pieces that they've got?
I'm gonna go with Forbes' team, the West, because even though we said that we're picking players that didn't get looks, I feel like he has more of the guys who were considered to be higher up on the higher echelon players throughout the college series in terms of performance. So I feel like those guys might end up giving that team a little bit of a boost.
I can't I can't really say. All I'm gonna say is this: we did the playbooks, right?
Mm-hmm.
Both of them handed in their game plans, guys. We finalized that earlier today. It's gonna be a great game. That's all I'm gonna say. It's gonna be a really great game. Shouldn't see any nonsense in the game, and I think that's going to allow players to really flourish. That's all I can say there.
Hey, Smitty, are we gonna mention what we talked about yesterday after all of this stuff, or no? To the community.
No,
or no?
I think we should save it.
Okay.
Yeah, save it for hype later on. But you know what? No, we could say it.
I mean, I feel like a lot of the guys are a little upset about what happened. So like, just let them know that we acknowledged it.
So what we can what we decided to do is next year. I've seen guys talk about it in the Discord and stuff. We talked about it after the draft, and next year we are going to have 2 games. So we will have an All-Star College Series Bowl game and a College Series Bowl game for that's pretty much turned out to be like how this was, where the guys who didn't get picked for the College Series Bowl will be playing in the in that second game. And that game will actually be first, and then the All-Star game will be second, and then we'll have the Pro Bowl. But also to talk about that is the times are flipped. We can't do it this year, guys. I'm sorry. We kids can't do it this year. Don't got the time. And as for the next year, like I was saying, next year we're going to have it's going to be over a year and a half pretty much that we're going to have to wait for the next college series because we are flipping those times. So the college series, since it will have to be after the college season, won't be until December now. And so the Pro Bowl weekend won't be aligned with the College Series Bowl weekend anymore after that. So just to let you guys know, that's how long it's going to be until we have ourselves a game, huh?
You sure we can't squeeze the All-Star in August, early August, like when we did remember how we did the scrimmages? Could we squeeze the game in there, take one of the scrimmages out and just squeeze it in?
No, because the college series guys haven't played yet. Like if you think about
I see.
Because when we're flipping it. These guys haven't even played yet, so we can't have no bowl game or anything. So we have to play their entire season. Then we're gonna have the RFL. Pro Bowl.
I was saying for the All-Stars from this upcoming draft though. That like the guys that we thought would have gotten picked in this game, could we just make a quick game, in early August, if that's possible?
Well, the draft, they'll be drafted by then,
Oh, I see what you're
Yeah.
saying. Oh, that's right.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he
sorry
can't.
guys. I
Yeah,
just
he
forgot
can't
about
go
that. Yeah,
outside
you be drafted.
Yeah, so
Yeah, you
that's
can't go back to the college unis, man. After you got the
yeah.
RFL unis on. Yeah, I
So
forgot.
that's why we can't do
Yeah,
it right now, guys. So
that's right.
but next
Makes
year,
sense.
guys, it is what it is, and at least you guys will be drafted in the RFL. You
Oh
got
yeah.
so that's all that really matters. But next year, guys, that's what you guys got to look forward to. So let's go ahead and now get a look at the Pro Bowl rosters. Oh, almost started up a game of it. Let me see.
Almost started the reload bowl. Super sim. Dre lost.
All right, so here's a look
man.
at the Pro Bowls, and we're going to start in the NRC here since I'm already in this file from looking at Joseph Gilly stuff. So this is the RFL Pro Bowl that we'll have on Sunday. It'll be at 8 p.m. Eastern. So representing the teams, first team quarterback, got Chase Mason from the Austin Desperados. Then we got Reed Wagner, then Preston Strader. Those are your three quarterbacks. Running back, got Tavion Hall, Madison Axel, and Overstreet. At fullback, I believe that's Kean Bowers. I believe he's with the Diablos. And then Trent Bruce the third. Let me see. Is it Trent something? Trip Bruce. Yeah, Trip Bruce. Yeah, I know he's with the Lancers. So that's the other fullback there. Wide receiver, the starting group, we got one, C.J. Robinson. There you go, Bill. We got Clark Jaguar at 2. Nice. Cecil Austin III at 3. Romeo Jackson at 4. Stanley Kemford at 5. And Roland Woods at 6.
Yeah, my boy, only yellow.
And moving on to tight end and looking at the overall difference, guys still balled out, man. Marshall Levi from the Crusaders is going to be the starting tight end.
Hey, Smitty, hold on. And he got the yellow. He got the yellow 75 for the Crusaders color too, man. All chips.
So he'll be a starting tight end. Backed up at number 2 and 3, we got Griffin Pritchett and Eric Reese. At lineman, we got Deion Gunn. He's from the Crusaders. We got Clifton from the Explorers there. We got Kevin Bruce. I think he's with the if he's not with I know he's been traded at times. So I don't know if he's with the Snowhawks now or with the Diablos. Can't think off the top of my head. Got McClure, Zach Ballantine, how do you say that name? Valentine.
I think it's Valentine. I think it's Valentine. Yeah,
Valentine. Yeah, Valentine. I know he's with the Lancers. I know Malcolm Sims, I believe, he's with the Gunners. So he's going to be a second center. Right guard, got Breon Keith. He's with the Desperados. We got Newton. I believe he's with the
it's Noon. Yep, Noon. Yeah, like Noon.
Nguyen?
Yeah, no, it's like Noon, like Noon. It's just Noon.
Okay, Noon.
Yeah. I used to have a friend. I know guys used to have a friend, man. You know, say he was Vietnamese or something like that, and yeah, it was like Noon. It's pronounced Noon, like Noon. Noon.
Okay. So,
wait a minute here.
He's from the Barons.
Unless you got win. Unless you gonna say win, Bill.
No, I'm not even talking about that. Am I coaching this game?
Yeah.
Pro Bowl? Yeah.
yeah, bro, you're coaching this. This is your team.
Man, Bill
out here tripping. Let's play the Bell for Bill in the world. You forgot what you hype about your team?
No, I just didn't even realize. I just saw Coach back in the chats like, Bill, we don't get cool graphics. I'm like, what the heck do I need a graphic for?
We got Tacoby Drons. I believe he's with the Snowhawks. If he's not, he's with the Diablos.
Oh, wow.
And we got Jake Cowser. He's been here just about every year with the Gunners at right tackle. Going on defense at left end, starting Dre Dawkins, playing that position newly this year. Coming from linebacker, he had Morris Wright. That's the rookie this year that came out of Alabama. So he's going to be the backup left end. Roll Tide. We got Dylan Cutler from the Explorers starting right in. Backup at 2 is Chase Schilling from the Lancers. Starting D tackle, you got Stephen Wilcox from the Crusaders. Nathan Schmidt at 2 from the Explorers. Deshaun Richardson, of course, Nason, there we go, from the Steamers. DT number 3. Still guy made it. Marvin Woolfolk.
Schmidt and Richardson?
Yeah, it's going to be crazy. Marvin Woolfolk, outside starting left outside linebacker there. Kason Fine from the Lancers. Middle linebacker DeMarco Lando at 1. Kenny Summer, the young middle linebacker from the Monarchs at 2. Timothy Staten, outside right side linebacker here from the Diablos. McNally, he's from the Desperados. Seth McNally. So he's from the Desperados there too. Cornerbacks, we got Zach Walters, of course, broke the record for the most interceptions in a single season with 9. Guy was an absolute beast. And Rashad Chamberlain. How crazy is that starting lineup at cornerback? Rashad Chamberlain from the Explorers. Got Demore Sparks from the Barons at 3. And at 4, we got Iron Hart. And going on to safeties, Garrison Ash. He came from the Elks there. Hayden Harold from the Barons. Nate Frank from the Tigers. That's an underrated guy right there, man. He's been very consistent for the Tigers. And backing him up is Bill. If I'm not mistaken, I believe he is from the Monarchs. He's a new guy here. At kicker, got Alan James and Kofi. Coffee, I think that's how you say it. But at kick return, we chose our own kick returners. Off the top of my head, I forgot who those guys are. But I think the punt returner is definitely Stuart Savoy from the Explorers, because he was the only one that had a punt return for a touchdown this year. Because we don't go off of Madden's, because I don't know what the logic was off of these positions. These guys weren't leading in any of the categories really, so not sure why they were there. And then can't remember. I think it was the Gunners returner. Kevion Ford, I believe, is the kick returner for the NRC. So that is your lineup for the NRC. So let's go ahead and move on to the ARC. Oh, let me turn this ARC side. I'll just put that up so you don't got to see all the Madden stuff. Oh yeah, shoot. While I was thinking, what's you guys' thoughts on the NRC team?
Sweet. Wolfwick's playing.
Dub.
Nice. Okay,
it looks pretty good. Yeah, it looks pretty good.
Let's go ahead and.
Oh, we got some pronunciations of that name, Smitty. There's a couple of different ones. Nguyen, and there was another one.
Nugent.
Win. Like win or Nguyen. I think I may have thought it was saying they were saying noon, but it may just be Nguyen.
No, it's there was a guy in the NFL when like the mid 2000s, and he had that last name and it was pronounced Win.
Win. So
I guess you can say it any
Nguyen.
type of way for real. Guy's been in the league for a few years.
Yeah,
Really?
I didn't know
it's been
we had so many
pronounced a couple-
Vietnamese
yes.
speakers here in the RFL.
It's been pronounced apparently a couple
Came out the
different
woodwork,
ways.
man.
So.
Like,
Start calling you Smitety just because I can
Smitety.
say whatever I want.
Yeah, but that just doesn't make sense. Doesn't roll off the tongue.
Mighty tie.
You sound like you saying a pootie tang word there.
Spotty.
So,
Oh boy.
all right, so we got the ARC side. So these are the ARC guys. At starting quarterback for the ARC, Marquise Washington. How about that? Rookie. Going to be taking a starting role. And we got Holden Wolf at 2 and Geno Gannon at 3. Running back, we have speaking of teams.
You didn't get my
Oh
message.
yeah, we can't do that though, bro. We can't do that. Can't do that.
Get him out of here.
Yeah, definitely can't throw the whole move out. But Aviators, Black Knights, and Cougars here. Just go through the teams just for new guys, just in case they're trying to figure out where these guys are from. Deshaun Jones, he played for the Bulls, starting at running back. Langford Cloud, Black Knights at running back 3. Dre Shivers from the Riverhawks. Fullback, Logan. Now, honestly, off the top of my head, I'm gonna be honest, I don't know where Logan plays.
Logan is
fullback.
Miners or no? Where's Logan at?
I don't even
Where's
know where
Logan at, guys?
Schlesinger plays either. I think Schlesinger. No, I'm not even going to guess.
Oh, don't give me the line. Man.
He's on that one team.
Yeah, one team.
One team.
How about this? I get for whoever can guess what team.
Hey,
can tell me
they
what
roasting
team.
you too. It's David Jones. They roasting you, Smitty. You said Deshaun Jones.
Oh, I said Deshaun Jones. Oh snap!
Yeah.
David
Hey, he
Jones.
can pronounce it how he wants.
One bell.
He
One
wants.
bell.
Yeah,
One
go
bell.
ahead, Bill.
Shout out to Chrome, man. That's his player.
That's how he pronounces David.
So, what's it called? Okay, whoever can tell me what teams these are off the right now in the chat. Both of the fullbacks, I'll give you guys 100 reloads for that.
Schlesinger is who is Schlesinger? Who's he
Don't-
good for?
Don't tell them. Let them get the reloads.
The answer's already in the chat.
It is.
Yeah, Mitchie.
Oh well, it's dead.
Mitch doesn't count, man.
He already gave the answer out though.
No, he
so
knows
it's
everything.
dead.
I know I can't answer these
It's
questions, but I'm gonna answer them anyway and take relos away from players.
RFL encyclopedia, man. That guy Mitch, man.
All right, so wide receivers. This was an interesting one. Luke Chamberlain, very underrated wide receiver from the Bisons. He's starting at wide receiver for the ARC. Outside on the other side with him is Cam Jones from the Dreadnoughts. You have Tyler McGarity from the Sentinels at 3. Wide receiver 4 is Sylvester Leach from the Riverhogs. Receiver
Big
5, Buck Oberts, from the Miners. And at number 6, another Miner wide receiver, Dariantre Machiavelli, as Mitch, not Mitch, but Mix always like to say, longest name in the league.
Longest name in the league, man.
And at the tight end position, you got Mike Strongley from the Black Knights, Nacho Cheese from the Voyagers, and Rainey Shropshire from the Riverhogs at tight end 3. Left tackle, got DeMarcus DeGreat. This guy wins this every year because we know they go overall really for the Pro Bowl here from the Red Dragons. Got Zach Kowalski. There you go, Rob. Cougars.
I don't know how, man.
Cougars there. Dreadnoughts, left guard, Aiden Mahill. At left guard 2, we got Tom Schaefer. I believe he's with the Red Dragons as well. Got Gordon Goodman. He's with the Sentinels at starting center. Vincent Eaton. I believe he's starting center for the Red Dragons. Right guard Sean Hayden, that's another Cougers lineman right there.
Old head.
Right guard right there. D. Royster with the Aviators, right guard number 2. I don't know the first name of Royal here, but Royal, I believe he's also with the Aviators. I think Mitch told me that yesterday. And is that Bauer?
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 I think it's Bauer. Don't say Bear, guys. I think it's Bauer. Like Eddie Bauer.
Yeah.
I think it's Bauer.
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 Oh, okay. Showing my age.
Damn, Bauer. That's one lineman out of this group that I'm not sure he's from the Sentinels.
Sure.
I'm not sure.
We're just gonna say.
Yeah, he plays for Sentinels.
Okay, nice. left in Calvin Lunsford, Black Knights, absolute beast all year. Antonio Griggs with a crazy bounce back year he had, man. 2 rough years for him, but he's played for the Miners. He'll be backing up Lunsford. At right end, there we go, Pioneers getting one in here. Roland Kaiser. He gets in there. DeJuan Church played a bell for my guy, getting them sacks this season. Pause. And played for the Voyagers. Defensive tackle, got CJ Core. Starting at D-tack. What?
There was no need for the pause.
For what? I can't remember what I said. What I even said it for. To be honest.
The one church. With the one church, Bill.
No, it was
he
else.
just said pause.
Oh,
like, what is that?
Oh, because I said I don't want to say it again. But you could go back. You'll hear what I said. But at D tackle number 2, you got the Voyagers, another Voyagers defensive lineman, Lewis Cadet at number 2, and at number 3, Stanley McQueeson from the Dreadnoughts. Outside linebacker to the left side, got Gabe Stringer from the Bulls, and backing him up, Charles Raymond. Is this guy missed the Pro Bowl? Red Dragons here.
I don't think so, no.
Yeah, so Charles Raymond just about been in every Pro Bowl. Middle linebacker, Adam Okoye, outstanding year for him. He'll be starting middle linebacker for the ARC squad. You got Jack Brown from the Bulls backing him up. Outside right side linebacker, got Jesse Newhouser, still a beast at outside linebacker there. There's another Pioneers guy. There we go, Rob.
D-Wee.
Dwayne Baum, outside linebacker there behind Newhouser. Starting cornerback, Carlos Gint from the Voyagers. Cornerback number 2 from the Aviators, Lynn Mayberry. Number 3 from the Aviators as well, the King Armstrong. And this is a very underrated guy. This is second back-to-back Pro Bowl here, and he has been like regressing just about since then, and still makes it. And this is from the Pioneers, Russell Murray. He secretly has really good seasons. Just had to point that out. Got to look out for that guy. He might be done after this year though. Free safety, Robert Staymates from the Huskies getting on there. Backing him up is Griffin Whiteside from the Miners. Strong safety, Derek Oliveros from the Miners. Outstanding year from him.
That was one of our first rookie series guys, wasn't it?
Yeah, it had a great year this year. And backing him up, Deron Jameson from the Voyagers. Kicker, Garrett Ivey. I think he's with the Sentinels. No, he's with the Black Knights. He's with the Black Knights. And, of course, this guy, he was killing it in the Celtic Tigers Aviators game. George Archer, starting punter there. One thing they got right with the kick return, Isaiah Streets is going to be the starting kick returner for the ARC. And for the punt return, off the top of my head, that's one player I cannot remember. I know Mitch has that information. Since he's our encyclopedia guy, he'll let you know in the chat. But yeah, that is our rosters.
Relopedia.
Yeah, Relopedia. And I think Mitch has it, since Mitch has this roster pretty much done. Let's go ahead.
We can advance.
No.
I don't get it.
Since he has this roster,
Almost.
let's hold
almost
on.
glitched
Hold
him,
on.
almost glitched
Hold on
Smitty,
to
y'all.
that
Almost glitched
excitement,
him.
boys. But yeah,
It's just like it's just like, well, I don't care, so we're just not going to.
yeah, I just like that story,
Even
that stuff
though
you guys
every
can
single
use.
coach in the league wants to.
Yeah, it's cool, but hold on that for talking points. You know what I mean? Like for after the Pro Bowl, since this is focused on the Pro Bowl and all that stuff. We're about to start putting out the uniforms and stuff like that. Well, we already know we getting here for the Pro Bowl, but the College Series Bowl and stuff like that. When you guys get those XP points and stuff, that'll be stuff to talk about afterwards. Fill in space and post about. So that's one of the main reasons why I didn't want to advance. But looking at the rosters here, they're already built. Hold up, let me hit the back out button. So let's go ahead and get a look at what these overalls are of these Pro Bowl teams.
I already can tell that's the wrong face.
Yeah, we got to fix faces, though. Faces are the only thing that hasn't been fixed. Okay, so looking at the ARC squad, it balances out to a 90 overall, 89 offense, and a 93 defense. So that's the ARC squad. And for the NRC squad, 94. 94 overall, 90. Now, this is what I'm going to say to the NRC side. These guys have not won a Pro Bowl. They've only won, the only Pro Bowl they won, which kind of technically doesn't count, was played on NCAA, was the first one. So these guys have lost every single Pro Bowl. If you guys lose this with a 94 overall team, you guys have no bragging rights over conference.
Who coaching?
That doesn't even make sense, bro. Like,
yeah, it does make sense.
I'm not questioning if we're gonna win or not, but that goes against literally the logic that you spew all season.
I know, but
long,
I'm just
bro.
saying you do have a better team, though. Like, you guys should win this.
What does that mean?
You guys should win this. Like, I mean, you guys haven't won in 4 years, man. Come on. You guys talk about, NRC is this and that. You guys haven't won a Pro Bowl. What's going on?
Yeah, I did.
Why would you guys? Well, it means anything.
It does. It may not mean something in real life, but it does mean something here because these guys are actually playing like it's a game.
For anybody who doesn't understand yet, Smitty has a huge bias against anything NRC because it's his baby ARC that he loves so much.
Because you guys lose every year.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Hey,
so,
stack this
like,
year.
you know what I mean? What bias is there? What bias is there? You guys haven't won a game.
Man.
I need y'all to go ahead and win a game first, and y'all can talk about how y'all can push up on the NRC.
We don't win games at the NRC.
Yeah, we'll see. But you better win this one. You better win this one, or the trash talk for the NRC is going to be bad.
Dang.
So that's the overalls right there. And I guess they already got the top players you can see here. C.J. Robinson, Tavion Hall, and Reed Wagner, top overall players for that. And what do we get as the top player for ARC here? Okay, the coach is on, so we're not going to be able to see that. But let me see. I think I could do it on the versus screen. They're not even playing each other.
It'll show you the.
Oh, when I advance. Okay, yeah, I can't advance now though. But there's a way I could see that, right? Still. Oh yeah,
you just go to the roster.
Yeah, I'm tripping. Yeah, so where's that at? Okay. Top 3 players: DeMarcus the Great, lineman, Sylvester Leach, 97, and Nolan Wolf, 94. So yeah, that's a big difference between the top 3 guys here with the Blues. Wow. Yeah, so that's it for the Pro Bowl. Oh yeah, last thing to ask you guys here on the podcast with me. So who you guys, I guess it's already been spoken on who I think is going to win, who should win the Pro Bowl this year. Who do you guys think is going to win the Pro Bowl?
ARC, man.
Well, I'm coaching one of them, so I mean, you know who I'm going to go with.
All right, that's what's up. That's good. That's good. And is that it? No. All right. Let's see. Yeah, that would have been it. That would have been it. But we wanted to add in Madden. So you guys already know about Madden, about to drop tomorrow, that some type of information, who they might be on the cover of Madden 22. Well, who's going to be on the cover of 22. They're definitely going to reveal that and things of that nature. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to play the little snippet trailer thing, that the teaser thing that they posted, just so we can refresh the viewers right now on, you know, what they showed us. And then we're going to just gauge and just give our thoughts on who we think might be on the cover. And then we're going to talk about, you know, what we really want and expect from the game this year. So with that being said, let me go ahead and play that real fast.
It's Peyton. Yeah. They did it again.
All right, so they got Peyton Hillis in here. Got 2 goats, which I think is a huge signal. A baby one and it looks like an older one or a more adult one. So, like, from looking at that, what is your thoughts on that? What do you think is going to be the outcome tomorrow, Bill and Rob?
Oh man, they really didn't say much there. I feel like the whole video was just sort of a just like the cover, and that's about it.
Mhm.
I understand the GOAT reference. You know, I feel like, you know, it's a play on Brady, and then the smaller GOAT is maybe like Mahomes, who everybody thinks is already going to be a GOAT in 10, 15 years. But I don't really understand the Peyton Hillis reference.
Mhm.
That's the one thing that's really, really has me questioning why him?
Yeah,
Because
that's
it's
got me
not,
stuck too.
it's just so random, you know?
Yeah. So one thing that I had, well, Beazle brought up when we was in the chat was like, you know, last time Peyton Hillis was on a cover was in Madden 12, which is exactly 10 years ago. So from this game, so I'm thinking, for my thoughts on this, just to put just a extra on it, is I do you think because they know they got to go with franchise years, like Madden 12 was like the last thing that had a decent franchise, you know, in terms of stuff and certain features in it. So do you think maybe that could be why Peyton Hillis is in here?
I think because he said we're back, folks, or something like that. He
Yeah,
said,
he
right?
said we
Or
did it
yeah,
again.
we
Yeah.
did it
They're
again.
doing it again, he
Yeah,
says. They're doing it again.
Yeah, and like at that year, they had like the custom playbooks and everything. The franchise mode was deep and stuff like that. So I don't know. You know, it's a farm. You're thinking like when I think of farm, I think of building. I think of, you know, roots, going back to the roots. You know, whatever.
Mm-hmm. Okay,
So
Rob.
it's possible. It's
Digging in
what's
there.
up?
I said, okay, Rob.
Yeah.
I
So
see you.
yeah, you never know, man.
Thinking
They
outside
might
the
be
box.
restoring it, man. They might be going back to when my boy Hillis was on the Browns, and you know what I mean. So you never know, man. You never know how to take that. But you know, we'll know. We're gonna know soon, right? So,
Yeah, that's interesting,
yep.
man. When you bring up about the
Mhm.
farm.
Yeah.
I really
Well,
hope that's the case,
yeah.
man. But
Yeah.
do we
Now we
think,
can get into our segment. But yeah,
do we
okay, if you
think
got
though
anything
that they're like they're that clever, like that
I don't know,
sneaky?
man.
I think that we are going to get a much more improved franchise. I'm not going to say it's going to be the absolute best, but I'm saying much more improved because first of all, we really don't have too much to work with. You know, we already know it definitely needs improvements. But I do feel like this is a huge focus for them this year, and that's kind of the vibe, which is why I brought up the Peyton Hillis thing. And I also feel like they might create a team back, but it's not going to be in depth like we think. If they do it, I think that they're going to have logos you have to choose from and stuff like that, and you might be able to change up colors and things of that nature. I kind of feel that that's something that they might bring back, but it's nothing like the old creative team. I don't think it'll be. So that's kind of what I think they'll have in store. We're not, and another thing to talk about with this, since they're going to be doing this a reveal tomorrow, they're not. Don't get mad because they're not going to show you much. They're just going to be talking about the features in the game. You know what I'm saying? Like they're just going to show you about what's new, what's coming. You're not going to really see no gameplay like that. Usually guys do get mad when they watch it because, you know, they get something, just a small little details, and they think, oh, this is the same as last year. But that's not really the case because these guys, these guys, you know, like I said, are going to save that information for you for later. But it is going to be interesting to see what features they're going to be bringing or at least showing us, and then we'll learn, you know, in the later weeks, you know, how great they've actually worked on it.
So we don't get the beta tomorrow? I thought we get the beta. Didn't we sign up for that, Bill?
Yeah, we signed up for it, but what I've been hearing is that we'll get a code maybe, but the beta is not going to be like something playable right there. It's going to be something when they have it played.
They said that whatever we signed up for was tomorrow.
Yeah, remember, I saw that on the.
From what I heard,
I don't know if because they never said it was the beta. It was just speculatory that it was the beta.
Oh yeah.
But see, the reason why I think it's going to just be a beta code, but we're not going to be able to play nothing that day, is because what's it called? I've been watching a couple of Eric Rayweather videos too.
Yeah.
And he said, you know, this kind of happened last year. You signed up for the thing, they gave you a code, but you didn't get to play it then. You know what I'm saying? Like they just I think they're just going to give us a code, and then when the time comes where we can play it, then we can play it.
Gotcha.
Even if that's the case, that's still cool with me, you know? I mean,
Yeah.
that's my biggest thing is like, I think, you know, aside from just being able to give the feedback and be able to talk, or maybe not talk with them, but talk at the devs, I guess you can say, because they don't really interact with you, but they do watch those closed beta chats, is just being able to try to spot some things to try to get ironed out beforehand. And then also, it really gives us, I feel like, a really big leg up on our stuff here at the RFL, because we can get an early look as to what we're going to have to expect once we get our hands on the full game, and you know, how we have to go about team building, what's going to change, what's not going to change, you know, sort of things like that. So I really hope that we get a chance at the beta, because that's always a big thing to me every year, just because of those two things.
Yeah, and also with the I'm just really looking forward another feature and stuff that I'm kind of looking forward to, that I would hope is that we'll be able to actually have all of our coaches in one file. That's how crazy would it be if we could have all 32 teams and actually be able to have cross-conference games now and legit records, because everyone's been given that auto 4 wins and it's made things hectic. But now we really get to see how great teams really are since they're playing a full season. You know, I think that's going to really separate the guys who are postseason ready and who aren't. So that's a feature I'm looking forward to. Of course, the creative team thing also. Is there anything you guys are looking forward to for
if I see creative play, I'm gonna be like, what?
Creative play,
You see, you said you got these little play diagrams on the flyer right here.
Yeah. Now I'll say this though. We definitely are gonna have to put rules in place for coaches on that, so that, you know, anybody could probably cheese or do something with that. So,
bro, if I see that, OMG.
You was gonna say something.
I really want to see. Yeah, I really want to see more game plan features outside of the game. Like they have some of the stuff inside the game, like in the play calling screen, like the strip ball and aggressive play, and, you know, certain matchups for receivers. I really want to see that stuff outside of the game. And I also would love to see some type of feature where you can almost set priority for players, you know, because teams do that. You know, like you go, like the Cardinals, you know, that in their weekly meetings, Kyler Murray and his coaches are all sitting there and they're talking about, we got to prioritize finding Hopkins and getting him in space. We got to find ways to get him the ball. And I really wish that we could get something like that for not only our offense, but our defense, you know, to be able to really key in on things outside of training on certain players to just make coaching that much better for us.
And you know, to harp off what Bill is saying, like it makes no sense for us not to have control of like what our team does on the field. Like they need to take the custom playbook stuff, right, and put that in franchise and let me tell, like, with whatever the Eagles playbook, whoever playbook I want to run with, let me be able to specify what percentages I want the team to run, what I want them to focus on. Do I want it to be run heavy, pass heavy? Like, I mean, you can do that sort of stuff in the other games, the 2K, you know, all this stuff. You know, you can set
the hardest thing of that being a possibility though is, like, as user, you can do that though. You know what I'm saying? And that's one of the hardest things for us is because since you can do that as a user, I don't think Madden, EA, these guys are taking into priority like our style of play, the CPU guys. So because of that, I think that they're still going to keep that the same unless it grows.
Well, honestly, though, Smitty, like I understand that, but if you go into practice mode and training, you can see that stuff like it's there. It's just that it's limited, but you can see like they have it to where it tells you, do you want these guys to shade all the time? Do you want them to what do you want them to do all the time? Like it's there, it's in practice mode, but why isn't it in the game? You know what I mean? Like why is it in the, like you can I don't know why it's not in the game, bro, but I see it in the practice mode.
Well, it's in the because if you're playing too, you can do the same thing. That's what I'm saying. Like user, you can do these things. It's just like CPU
but if
for us, they don't do it.
But in practice mode, you can tell them to do that and then just not even play it, and it's doing it. It's doing what you told it to do,
Yeah, I'm saying I'm saying in practice mode, you could do that also if you were actually user playing a game too. It's not just practice. Like you could literally say shade this side. You have those adjustments to make, which is why I said it's a very low chance for us to make that happen unless like our style of play gets more notoriety, because they technically do have it in the game and it can be done, and they're probably looking at like nobody plays the game that.
But look, but even like with 2K, you can set all that up and then put the controllers in the middle, and it's gonna be on all those settings you want it. Like it's ridiculous how it is on 2K. You can set the tempo of the game, everything, what the players do, how fast the big man runs compared to the point guards. All that. You can set all of that, bro. It's so in depth. It's 100 sliders. You know what I mean?
And there's also that in prior games, Rob, as you know.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
So and that's I think why it's like, why is it not here anymore? Because we've had it before. That's been the biggest gripe with guys that have been playing it in the past when it was the glory days of Madden.
Yeah.
I'm saying,
I don't know. I'm hopeful, man.
You guys see, I would. I mean, if they could do that, it'd be awesome. I'm with y'all on that. I just seeing it where like in our style of play with the CPU, like it's going. I just see the stuff still just being user based compared to the team just playing.
Have you played 2K?
I don't play 2K. I'm gonna be honest. I'm trash. Yeah. I'm completely trash at 2K. I would never play anybody. 2K.
Bro, I challenge you, bro. Like you don't even have to play it. I just challenge you to go into the game, go into settings, and look at that, bro, and then. Tweak it to how you want to tweak it, and then go do just like how we do in the RFL.
But I'm gonna say this: from you playing that, and you playing 2K, will you say if you wanted to make an adjustment, that's not going to happen though in the CPU or CPU playing 2K?
No, it is. No, it is, bro.
You can set your line per team, literally.
Okay, you can set up your team and stuff. That's cool, but I'm saying what if you want to do more press or something at that moment? Yeah, you have to user that. You can't just change that yourself.
No, bro. You can go into your playbook, bro, into the individual plays and pick a player, and you can tell this player what to do against this player all game long.
Yeah, but
it's all in there in percentages and everything.
That would be dope. So I see what you're saying, but I'm saying also with this is okay, so what about an adjustment? You know what I'm saying? What if what you put is not working, and you're well, I need to get him out of that. You can't do it now. You know what I'm saying?
You mean like if you want to take him out of doing something all game long?
Say for instance, what was in 2K was in Madden, right? And you had a guy pressed up every time. I don't care where this guy goes, I want you to press him up because he's not good at getting off the release.
Yeah.
But the guy ends up just beating him every time. You don't want to keep the guy in that. You know
that's how we play what we play. Yeah.
That's always gonna be
but I'm thinking about it adjustments. That's what I'm talking about, adjustments. I thought you guys were talking about adjustments. Adjustments can never be really set.
So let me break it down a little bit more for what Rob is trying to get at. So when you're running a franchise in 2K, you have a screen that allows you to set a minutes and rotation schedule for each individual team separately. Not just your opponent the week. It literally has all 29 other NBA team logos there, and you can go in and set each one specifically for that team and come back out. Or you can also do a substitution for all thing instead, where it'll just sort of a blanket effect on every game you play no matter what. You can choose plays for that week and take plays out and put plays into your playbook
Yeah.
without having
Inside.
to leave franchise, edit a playbook, and then re-import that. It just edits your playbook. Those kind of things is what Rob is getting at here.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
That would be dope. That would be dope. They definitely need to throw that in there.
Yeah.
And I like how too the coaches, like if you have like the coach, like whatever coach you have, he has perks, which causes like your team to play a certain way. So like, like if he's a good he might be a good defensive guy and not a good offensive guy, your team will play better on D. It's like it's just so in depth, man. It's like really just so immersive. I don't understand why we don't have that, but I get it,
Yeah. They just got at least we know they're at least from what they're saying that they're going to try to push, and that's all we can look forward to, and in the way that we play. So hopefully they really take the franchise thing all the way serious and deep dive into that, because of course in turn that's going to make the game itself better, and of course it's going to make what we do that much better. So really looking forward to seeing that actually coming to fruition. Here. So that's my main talks about, Matt. Any other features you guys can think about?
Franchise.
Everything for franchise.
Everything for franchise, bro.
I do want to see a new system. I want to see an entirely new
new interface
engine. I want to see a new engine too.
Yeah.
New engine.
Yeah,
Since
I'm
they're
sick.
going to the new Madden, new console,
I'm
I
sick
think
and
they
tired
shouldn't
of
do that.
I'm sick and tired of the deep animations, man. I'm just really sick and tired of it.
And 32 teams in the franchise. Please.
Yeah, that would be dope.
There's got to be a better way to showcase football than
Facts.
just pulling an animation out of a hat and throwing it at it. I just can't stand it.
Yeah, we'll have to see. Maybe a new engine will come out and fix those problems. From what I'm seeing, just going back to this image, thing's gonna play again. Okay, turn that off. So from what I'm seeing here, this looks like this is the game. You can see the hand and the guy holding the ball. It looks similar. And that's not saying much, though, because all we've seen is a hand and some fingers in the dirt. But, it kind of looks similar to me. The model in the back looks kind of similar, even though it's blurred out. The engine I don't feel it's probably going to be changed, but we don't know. We don't know. I don't think that, unless they really was building something, all these years ready for this, I think it's still going to be on the same engine and same type playing style. They just got to figure some things out and change the stuff up. But I think they took a leap in the right direction this year on next gen, because the movement and everything was way better.
I'm not expecting a new engine. You just asked what I would wish for. That's one thing I want.
Yeah.
I don't expect them to do it. It's just something I would like them to do.
Yeah. So
And it'd be awesome too, man, is even if they don't give us fully created team, even if they make us choose certain logos, even certain color schemes with the logos, just let us at least customize the uniform a little bit.
yeah.
What team do y'all think this is in the background? Because this is like what team is that in the background, y'all think? Because I see the coach has the
Say
red.
Washington football team or the Cardinals.
Got you.
Looking at who has the ball, I can see a little bit of the logo there on the shoulder pad. It's like up top. I'm really trying to look at it.
Oh, up there I see it. Yeah.
Is that
I see what you're
Ravens?
saying. Oh no.
What's that?
His shoulder
That's
pad's got a
That's
team.
Ravens up there.
That's
Yeah.
Ravens, right?
That's what it looks like. Or
Yeah.
it could be Eagles.
Yeah. So
I think it's
Man,
Ravens.
oh
though.
man. We're gonna know tomorrow. I
we
guess
gonna know.
I guess we should know.
Or it could
Yeah.
be. I mean,
Like I
honestly,
s-
that could be a number of teams. That could be the Buck. A lot of like the Bucks have that. The Eagles have that, and the Ravens all have, I think, their logo on their shoulder like that.
yeah.
So
I kind of seeing like a beak and a bee, like, so that's why I kind of think that's probably a Ravens patch on it.
Yeah.
But yeah, from what I heard from Eric Rayweather as well, is that there's a possibility that stay on the lookout, that something could get leaked. And he said also before that it came out a couple times and got leaked before. I think he said like 2 years straight before it was supposed to.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
since that's the case, be on the lookout tonight just in case if they drop something, get a look at those features and things of that nature. But really stay tuned the weeks following so that you can know, just how much they're really doing with the features that they're talking about adding.
Hey,
So,
man.
yeah.
The first thing I'm doing, Smitty,
What's that?
I'm building all my ninth rounders on a created team, man.
Yeah, that's just going to be dope in
Great
general.
job,
Madden
great
is
job,
just
Bob.
Madden is just missing, the creative element. That's all
Yeah,
it really is. Because, we of course we love the NFL teams. Of course, at times, you want to play with them during the season, but you're talking about a game lasting and being interesting for an entire year. You got to throw the customization in there. That's the only thing that's going to keep someone's interest. And of course, some fun game modes, so that you can compete with other games in terms of their longevity of being played. So I really feel like this upgraded franchise and work if they do add these creative teams and stuff like that. After a while, like I've spoke on this before, like I love the NFL. I'm a Steelers fan and all that, but like I don't want to keep playing with the Steelers though. You know what I'm saying? I already see this guy on TV. I see Ben Roethlisberger on TV. I see Chase Claypool on TV. They're playing at the same time the game's out. I don't want to.
Yeah.
I don't want to keep playing with them though. I want to create my most. I think most people can say here with honesty that they want to do kind of what we do. Create your own stuff and just watch it play out.
Look, I don't play with no team but the Giants, and I know Bill don't play with any team but Minnesota. So it gets real boring real fast. Imagine you being a Giants
I'll play
fan.
with other teams. I will play with other teams.
Oh, you play with other teams, Bill?
Terrible. Bro.
Like franchise, I'll always have my Viking. I'll always have one or two Viking franchises going.
Yeah.
Like one of them might be like way in the future. The other one might be like I'm using real draft classes. But then usually sometime throughout the year, I'll end up getting making myself play with a team that just needs a serious rebuild, or I like their uniforms or something like that. But
I might just relocate it,
Vikings,
but I never play with other NFL teams. I'm just kind of petty like that.
I play straight up Steelers, nothing else, man. I don't care how bad the team is either. Like that one year, he wasn't bad. James Conner wasn't like all the way bad, but like when we had him on the team, like in Madden, he really had no use. Like he really couldn't do much but just run. So I was like, man, I just gonna have to take this L in my run game, man. Figure out a way to make him work, cause I ain't playing with no other team. But the Vikings teams is pretty interesting to play. I mean, you got Justin Jefferson. I said Justin You got Jefferson. We still got Cook back there. I don't really know the Vikings roster like that.
I trade Dalvin Cook away.
You be trading Dalvin?
Yep.
Oh wait, guys. Hey, Chris Williams, man, he just put the 5.
Shout out to Christian Williams for
fifth
the $5
round.
donation.
Fifth round.
Mr. Relevant. We'll see, man. We'll see.
Oh man.
But yeah, you crazy. Who do you get in return for that?
Oh, okay. So this dude is like 16 mil against the cap, right? He's already on the other side of 26.
Okay.
And he gets hurt every single year in my franchise, no matter what I do. So I just usually trade him toward like 2 years in, or if there's like a running back I think I can get in the draft, then I trade him and I just pick up the running back for a lot cheaper.
I guess that ain't bad. I thought you was trade him immediately.
No. Usually I have him for a season or two, but like he just gets hurt all the time. I'll be like, yo, this is the time. I'm gonna have Dalvin for the next 5-6 years. I'm gonna turn him into a Hall of Famer, and then he gets hurt every dang year. So I was like, you know what? Get out of here.
Who are you gonna say?
I used to just kick Eli off the team, man. Put him right in free agency, man. It's out of here. And then I'll fast forward to the draft, get me a stud, and just play with the base Giants. I always play with the base Giants offense and a stud QB. That's what I always do, man. And I just build through the draft or whatever. I don't sign like the free agents and stuff like that. I like tell myself I can only like draft players. And then I try to get like 75 overall or lower, or whatever. That was when I used to play.
I saw Chrome ask if I cheat. I don't know if he saw it in me or anybody, but I do not cheat in the draft, man. I am so picky about or in the draft in the franchise mode. I'm so picky about how I run my franchise that I couldn't cheat if I wanted to. All my fun would immediately leave.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's no point in even cheating that, man. I don't do that.
That's
team in a
corny to
heartbeat.
cheat. And then also
it is
like
corny, man.
There's no fun in that. It's like the Call of Duty players that be sitting in the same spot, knowing that don't matter who pulls
camping.
up, you're gonna smoke them. You know, like
camping,
you are gonna get bored of that. So there's no point even cheating.
You want to know the craziest thing I do?
What's that?
What's that?
And I'm not even exaggerating here. Like every season, when I get like when you get to week 3, you know, I spend every week, I scout everything meticulously. I go through it all, and in the final week, the off-season stage 4, and I don't know if people are gonna believe me or not, and that's okay. I don't really care because I just do it for fun. But I don't look at the things. But I go in and I close my eyes and I edit the players to give them better gear selections for when they get drafted, and I'll fix body shapes if they look stupid.
Oh, I got you. Yeah.
I honestly, I won't cheat.
That sounds like some Bill stuff,
Yeah.
man. That sounds like something Bill would do, man.
That's definitely something I do. Like that's the main reason why this league came about. Like for me, I never had fun playing franchise mode in Madden, even back in the day with NFL teams. Which is why I've always this idea came from. I always was a creative mind. I would play with NFL teams online. I'm cool with that. But I just always when it came to a franchise, we already see this franchise happening before our eyes and playing out. I want to have my own, you know, like I wanted to see my own players nobody knew about and franchise and do that. That's what this league came from, you know, from that creativity. So in terms of franchise, exactly what we do here. This is how I run my franchise. So that's just how it goes.
Yeah, if you cheat in the draft, man, and on single player, man, then you're probably playing on rookie.
Yeah,
you are.
Exactly.
I have no respect for you, man. Thumbs down. Get thumbs down the chat, man.
It's sort of weird how different I am in my own franchise, like in my own Madden stuff, because here you guys know, like, if somebody gains 3 yards on me, I'm mad. But like in my regular franchise, if I win too many games, I get really mad.
That gets boring too.
I want the realistic, you know, aspect of it. But when it's RFL, no, nobody's gaining a yard.
I play on all Madden and get mad, man. I be getting mad at the game and everything, bro. I don't throw the controller, man, but you know, I be
play the
game.
I play the way we play.
I had to get a ton of controllers.
Oh yeah, it's been a long time
man.
since I played the game. I miss playing the game, man. You know,
you won't. I tried it. You won't.
Well, no, I'm never touching the controller again unless something happens.
Just the place for fun, you know. And sometimes I like even with the RFL, like when I'm on a team and they're not playing that week and I can go in practice mode. I love just playing practice mode, just being on offense all day, just throwing that. That's fun to me. Like that's me actually playing the game, you know, just running a bunch of plays. So I actually love doing that. But in terms of playing it, I wouldn't mind playing nobody, but like, nah. I don't
for some reason, it feels like I'm ice skating on the game now. It doesn't feel how it used to feel, fluid. Like I don't know what it is, but it just it's just something about it. I don't feel like I have full control. Movement? Yeah, maybe it's that, man. You know, but I was noticing last year too.
Different.
Yeah, I was feeling like when I was playing it, it wasn't. Yeah, I don't know, but I haven't played Madden since I've been a part of this league 3 years.
Yeah.
Since I've actually played Madden competitively.
Yeah, I've really waned off of playing the game like competitively since I started this up, man. Like because it's nothing like this is the main thing about the RFL. Like playing this style of like once you get used to it and you understand it and you accept like okay, this is a different way to play, but like you understand it, like that makes you don't want to ever touch the sticks, man. Like, I don't even want to play. Like, I like not like because think about this. This is my main reason why I'm doing this. Also, when you play the game, for the most part, you know you're gonna win. Like, you know, you watch YouTube channels. You also know, like, you always know whatever series they start, the players they play with, they're gonna win. But when you play it like this, it's just like real life sports. You don't know what's gonna happen. You know, you just don't know what's gonna happen. You could get upset. You could get whatever. But and you can still have favorite players, exactly what you experience in this league is pretty much exactly what you experience watching the NFL if you're into it. You know, so like that's way better than me playing the game. Like I just love that experience because like even like teams that I enjoy watching in this, like even talking about the Celtic Tigers. Look at how much like we thought you know in the past they were going to win a Relo Bowl, and now they finally get here. The fashion and everything it was done, like that the fact that storyline was created without you forcing it, you know, like it created itself. It's genuine. That's what makes the way we play the game so unique.
I will say this too though, bro. There is definitely a difference with playing with RFL teams
Oh yeah.
than
Oh,
playing
yeah.
with NFL teams.
Yeah.
'Cause I was sitting there one day. One day, I think I was in practice mode, and I was just kind of messing around with Gannon, and I was like, "Yo, why is this unbelievably hard?" For whatever reason, I can't seem to run this way, and I can't seem to throw this way, and such, man. And then it's just something about the RFL teams, man, that are a lot more competitive than the actual NFL teams. I don't know what it is, man. But
Yeah, just in a way, they're just built different, like, and in the way
yeah.
the league came out generically regular, like with its own base roster, but like over time, especially with the things we're trying to cut off, like we're kind of in an OP stage in certain positions. So like that's like once that starts to wane out, I think we will start to see more of a balance. And it's crazy that even though we got this OPness, it's still a balance in this league.
Yeah.
Like that's what's awesome about it. But I think that more so came out this year because of the way that Madden 21 on the new gen played. Because honestly, like let's be honest, on the current gen, like even last year or season 5, man, like we just about knew who was gonna win the games. Like like they're like if the Explorers played the Tigers or something, like that was gonna be easy dubs. You know what I'm saying? Like that was gonna be like, but now like this shit, like they put up a fight. Even on current gen, the last thing they put up a good fight against you guys, but you guys still came back and win stuff, and it was high scoring and stuff like that. But like this year on next gen, it was just like, look at the games we got this year, man. Like just outstanding. Like this was, and I've been saying it all year. Like this was by far, first of all, it's the best decision for us to move, and it's the best season, in my opinion, the RFL's ever had, gameplay wise and just storyline wise, everything. So I'm looking forward to what Madden 22 is going to bring to the future and everything like that.
Basha Galupi said, should I watch from the beginning or is from here good? If you don't watch the whole thing, you get an F. F grade.
The podcast is almost over, so I'm
Yeah. Let me get F's in the chat for Bachi.
But yeah, I guess right now we got 8 minutes, like we usually close in 2 hours. So 8 more minutes and we're going to close out here. So if anybody got any questions you guys want to ask, I know we went on a little rant, but we can go ahead and ask any question you guys have right now.
One thing that I tried playing Madden not that long ago, and like, I'm not only a Madden fan, but like a football fan, but like I know the game. I've played the game, and I think that's what's the most like maddening, pun intended, thing about playing, because I'll like, okay, I see that this is man coverage, and I know that Justin Jefferson's gonna beat this guy on the comeback or on the curl route, so I'll throw the curl route early, but Madden will decide that the corner covering man to man, not looking at my quarterback who's covering the flat route, is gonna just magically stop. Like he just knows it's getting thrown and just turn and catch the interception. Or like when I throw a back shoulder fade, I try to throw a back shoulder to a receiver because he beat the corner or the safety and he's not looking at the ball. And I want to make those plays, but you can't because the game's just like, well, these guys have eyes in the back of their head. So one-handed interception.
Yeah,
oh my God, does that stuff get so frustrating?
One of the things with the gameplay of Madden I think really needs to be like addressed is ball placement.
Yes.
Because I think that like there's certain passes you just cannot make in the game, which should be like, especially when you guys got them beat. Like I think the arches towards the end when the ball drops off is what needs to be addressed, because like you were saying, sometimes you'll have a guy got the guy beat by like 2-3 steps on a streak, but you can't throw that over the top ball like you want to, and then somehow like because it's low and the trajectories just don't vary enough, the players on defense can make a play on the ball. And I think that's what the issue is, mainly with the passing game of the game, is literally the trajectories of the passes. And it wasn't really too much, I think, of the players. I mean, it's a good thing they nerfed it where the linebackers weren't jumping like 80 feet in the air and getting interceptions. But like the ball placement will change everything, I feel, with the way that the passing game goes. I think the run game is pretty straightforward. It's either good sometimes or it's not. I think the running game is good as it is. Just keep that how it is. And I think that if you're going to go with the animation base, which we already know Madden's been completely animation based, They need to find a way to have way more smoother transitions and a ton more animations added. Because there's just not a diverse amount of animations in the game. And if you think about it, like, that should be a main focus, because that's what's going to make the play look even more realistic. Animations wouldn't be too bad if they had more variety of them. Sometimes you get the things that look stupid because there's not enough animations in that position that the play is being made. You know, with the ball being here, there's only probably like a handful of animations that will trigger, and most likely sometimes it's not going to look right, you know. And so, you know, the outcomes depict why it happens when you really replay and look at it, but the outcomes and the way it looks, that's a different story. So I think they just really need to fix that and learn how to you know, blur that line more of that type of stuff going on.
Pat's pointing out that he had facts.
Oh man, yeah, okay.
That's scams.
Yeah, fun facts with Pat moment. Let me see. Did I even set this up on?
I thought you said you yeah.
Oh no, I didn't set that up in the right thing. I think this. Yeah, here you go. Put the wrong thing in here. There we go. Okay, so we'll close out with this. No opening questions. But we got 3 questions here from Pat, and I think what I'm going to do. These are pretty good. So like, guys should be able to answer these, I think. So we're gonna go with 1,000 for Pat if he gets it right. No, if nobody gets it, if they do get it, they get 1,000. He gets 500. So it says the sixth RFL Pro Bowl takes place Sunday night. Which 2 ARC quarterbacks are combined for 6 touchdown passes in the Season 4 Pro Bowl? And let me go ahead and minimize this and bring up the screen because I can never really see the chat here. Okay, there we go. Is this even going to be caught up? Looks like it. All right.
Come on, CP. We need 2 guys.
All right. 30 seconds.
Wow, not even some random guesses this week.
Look like Pat gonna be out here banking.
Q-Puck, I think he meant Kearney, says Kearney and Mackey.
He's correct.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah. So 1,000 for Q-Puck and 500 for Pat. That is correct. Hunter Mackey from the Riverhawks and Lane Kearney from the Bulls combined for 6 touchdowns in that Pro Bowl. All right.
You said 1,000 for Q-Puck?
Yeah, 1,000 for Q-Puck, 500 for Pat. All right, moving on to the next question. The Season 6 Senior Bowl. Okay, that's the same thing. In the Season 5 Senior Bowl, which is a College Series Bowl from last year, who threw the winning touchdown pass to lead the East to a 45-42 victory in the last second victory, excuse me.
What that old boy?
I won't say nothing about.
That was
You always like answer the questions.
My bad, guy. My bad.
Okay, so CP said Marquise, Lito said Gino, Brewer says Parker Thomas.
Drew Brewer got it. It's Parker Thomas.
Yeah, Parker
Thomas.
PT, baby, went down to the 5-yard line, put it in there. We was all like, oh.
Yep, PT got that. So we got 1,000 for Brewer and 500 for Pat again. And the final question. We got, what do you say?
You don't pause me, man. Come on, man.
Final question here. The Snowhawks face the Celtic Tigers in Relo Bowl 6. Drake Crowell is one of the 5 RFL quarterbacks to start in Season 1 and play. I added that word just so for clarity. Play in the Season 6 playoffs. Who are the other 4 quarterbacks? Time starts now.
Oh, that's easy.
If you really know your trivia or your history, this is very easy.
Yeah. So let us know who those quarterbacks are.
Lito says so easy, I'm not going to answer it.
Dag.
Chrome says Chase Mason, Pritchett, Hay, and Gidley.
No.
DP, LC3, Mackey, Wolf, Mason.
Mm-mm.
Worrell, Hay, Gidley, Wolf.
Nope. And that's the time. This says you guys got thrown off because season
But
1
is
we
it
didn't have
Yep.
NRC
Yeah.
teams.
I know. I didn't want to say no and give away the answers, so I didn't say none. But that's what I was talking about before when I said if you know your history.
Yeah, there was no NRC team. So these are the 4 guys who played. It was Glenn Hay, Aaron Pritchett, Reed Wagner, and Holden Wolf. Those were the guys.
Gotcha.
And Aaron Pritchett used to play for the Mexico City Conquistadors when we had them at the time, and Reed Wagner was with the Sentinels back in
All right,
season
so
1.
how much does Pat get?
Pat gets a stack for that.
Ooh.
Pat Stacks. That's his new name, Pat Stacks.
Patty stacks. All right, so
That
with
was
that,
a good one.
That guy.
yeah, that wasn't bad. That was good this time, Pat. He actually got him a chance. But yeah, that's gonna be it for us, guys. Appreciate you guys. Hey, stay tuned on the social media. We're about to be revealing the College Series Bowl uniforms for the East and the West soon. Hopefully by tomorrow. And
Yes.
of course, on Saturday, we got the College Series Bowl going down at 8 p.m. Eastern, along with the Pro Bowl the following day on Sunday at 8 p.m. At the same time. So stay tuned for those games. And then after that, it's all going to be just hype and all the lead up to the Relo Bowl between the Celtic Tigers and the Snowhawks. With that being said, it's your boy Smitty, RFL Commissioner and play-by-play commentator, along with Bill and Rob. And we will see you guys next time. Peace.